Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So we're going to continue today with the final part of the Barah Mahah Katha, which we've been doing for the last few weeks. This, I believe, is a 6th week, and each week we'll be doing two podiyan from the Bani, and 7th week Vaheguru that we're doing this part, and this is the final version. So what we're going to talk about today is the 12th month in the Sikh calendar, and then also the last Shabad, which covers off the end of this Bani. So Saad Sangat Ji, bentiya ke agle ਘੰਟੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਹਰੇਕ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਕਥਾ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆਈ ਆ ਕਿ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਤੇ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਆ ਕਿ ਜੋ 12 ਮਾਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਠ 12 ਮਾਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਜੋ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਅਖੀਰਲੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੀ ਅਤੇ ਅਖੀਰਲੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਤੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੀਂ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। So 12 Mahah Path. So this is the Bani that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, the 5th Guru, wrote for the Sikhs. And the reason for writing this Guru Bani, the reason for writing these Shabads was because at the start of each month, people would go for advice, people would go for guidance. So people would go to different spiritual leaders, different spiritual gurus and say, how should we behave this month? What's the main things for us to focus on spiritually this month? How can we progress? And Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the 5th Guru, gave the Sikhs these teachings to read at the start of each month. So at the start of the new calendar month, each and every month, we all come to the Gurdwara Sahib, and the word we have is called Sangrand. So Sangrand, we come to the Gurdwara Sahib, and we read or we listen to the Bani for the month. And this is the spiritual teaching. So we don't look at the stars, we don't believe in different planets and where they move, we don't look for that for advice. We look to our Guru and we look to what Guru Sahib Ji says. So ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਨਵਾਂ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੰਗਰਾਂਦ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਮੌਕਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੱਤ ਲਈਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਿੱਖੀ ਲਈਦੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਗਲੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਜੀਣਾ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਢੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਧਾਉਣਾ। So in this today's katha, today's vichar, we're looking at the 12th month. We've gone for the first 11, we're looking at the 12th month now. And the 12th month, the name of the 12th month in Sikhi is called Phalgun. And Maharaj in Gurbani, Maharaj called it Phalgun in this Shabad. And in what Maharaj Guru Arjan Dev Ji writes here, and what we'll do is we'll read each line in Gurbani, in Gurmukhi, and then we'll go for the English translation as well. So Maharaj says, Phalgun Anand Aparajana Har Sajjan Pragate Aaye. So Maharaj is saying, in the month of Phalgun, in this final month of the Sikh calendar of 12 months, in the month of Phalgun, Anand Uparjana, Anand is great bliss, great happiness, great contentment. Kaise mਹੀਨੇ ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਨੰਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ, Uparjana is to be like born, is birth. Right, so in the month of Phalgun, you get great anand, you get great happiness. Har sajjan pragate aaye. Who has his great happiness? Who has his great bliss? Who has his great anand? Those, har sajjan pragate aaye. Those who have realized, those who have found Vaheguru, those who have found God, those who have realized the true Lord. ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਮਹੀਨੇ 'ਚ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਨੰਦ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਇਸ ਮਹੀਨੇ 'ਚ. But Maharaj breaks the Bani down. So Maharaj talks about Phalgun. Phalgun is 2 words. Phalgun, one is the name of the month, but it's also Phal, is like fruit or flower, and Gun meaning qualities. So Maharaj says that person who's obtained this Phal, this gift of good qualities, that person has great anand in this month. कि जिन्हें हा गुण प्राप्त कर ले फल रूपी विच. Whoever has these kind of qualities, and what kind of qualities we're talking about? We're talking about Sat, which is the truth. We're talking about Santok, which is contentment. We're talking about Daya, which is compassion. We're talking about Dharam, which is righteousness. We're talking about Vichar, which is contemplation. ਜਿਹਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ 'ਚ ਸਤ ਸੰਤੋਖ, ਦਇਆ, ਧਰਮ, ਵਿਚਾਰ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਗੁਣ ਆ ਗਏ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਮਹੀਨੇ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਨੰਦ ਆਉਂਦਾ. And beyond that, it's the people who do Simran. Beyond that, it's the people who read Gurbani, who do Nitnem. Beyond that, it's people who have Khema. Khema means forgiveness. These are the kind of qualities that Maharaj says, the person who can enshrine these qualities within their heart, in the 12th month of the Sikh calendar, Maharaj says, this person experiences great anand, great bliss and great pleasure. Because this is the person, Har Sajjan Pragate Aaye. This is the person who has realized who Vaheguru is. And Sajjan means friend. Har is a name for God, Sajjan is a friend. Pragate is to realize, to see. Aaye is to come. So all this happiness comes to only that person who has realized who Maharaj is. Now, Pragate is to reveal. Now, we say in Gurmat, in Sikhi, that Vaheguru exists everywhere. That there's nowhere on the universe, nowhere in the world where Vaheguru doesn't exist. So Vaheguru is everywhere. So, but the problem is, some of us can see Vaheguru, some of us can't. ਸਾਡੇ 'ਚ ਕਈ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਛਾਣ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, and ਕਈਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ. So the issue isn't that Waheguru isn't around us all the time. The issue is, can we see Waheguru? Can we recognize Waheguru? Is Waheguru Bargat to us? And for those where Waheguru does reveal himself to you, when God does reveal himself to you, it's something called Jivan Mukta. It basically means you're liberated while you're alive. Because we don't in Sikhi need to die to find God. In certain of the faiths, the whole idea is that you die and one day you'll come back and you'll be resurrected, or you'll be judged in the court of God, and that's when you meet God. Sikhi says, why wait that long? Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj has given us an opportunity to meet God while we're alive, here and now. So we don't need to wait till we're dead. But the only way to realize who God is, to see who God is now, is to start off with these qualities. And again, just to mention these qualities again, we're talking about qualities like Satya, which is truth. We're talking about qualities of Santokh, which is contentment. So Santokh is where we're content, happy with what we have. We're not always constantly running, desiring more and more and more. We don't look at other people thinking, I wish I had that, I need that as well. We're happy with that a lot. Then we have stuff like Daya, compassion. Compassion is very, very key to Sikhi. And over the last few weeks, we'll have talked about compassion many, many times, but this is one of the key qualities of Gurmat, compassion. If we have compassion in our hearts to other people around us, and Vaheguru's compassion in his heart towards us. We talk then about Dharam, Dharam meaning righteousness. Dharam, we have the Sikh Dharam, which is the Sikh principles that we follow. Aha karna, nahi karna, the maryada. But Dharam also means righteousness as well. It means to do the right thing. Then we have stuff like Vichar. Vichar is to contemplate. Because sometimes we want to do things and we don't think. You know the whole thing where we say, think before you act. That's Vichar. Where before we do something, before we say something, we stop for a split second and say, is that the right thing for me to do? Or are we so driven by instinct, so driven by the passions, Kam, Krodh, Loma, anger, ego? Are we driven by these things that we act without thinking? If we do Vichar, that means we're in control of our minds and can take that split second to think about what we're doing. So these are the kind of qualities that Maharaj says, if you have these qualities, you experience this great bliss in this month. Then Maharaj goes on to say, Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Sant Sahai Ram ke kar kirpa diya milai. So Sant are the saints. Sant Sahai Ram ke. Sahai is kisnu saharna, then is someone to help. Go sade Sahai karda, someone helps us. So the saints are the helpers, Ram ke, are the helpers of God. But it doesn't mean there that the saints do help God, but the help that the saints provide there is to us, is to Sangat. Because the saints are those who control their minds. The saints are those who control their inner selves. The saints are those whose minds themselves are shant. So the word sant is another version of the word shant. Shant is peace. So saint is one who's at peace inside. Sant, oh yeah, andro shantya. Manu shantiya. Most of us, our minds go up and down all throughout the day. Different things happen. Sometimes we get happy, sometimes we get sad, sometimes we get angry, sometimes we get excited. Our minds aren't at peace. Sade manu shanti nigi. And so many of us, we spend our lives getting manu di shanti chaidiya. But the saints are those people that have obtained that shanti of the mind, of their inner self. Now the saints are the ones who are doing that seva of Maharaj. The saints are the ones who meditate on God's name. The saints are the ones, again, who have these qualities that we talked about earlier on. So Maharaj is saying here, Sant Sahai Ram ke. So these saints are the helpers. But they're helping Vaheguru, of course, by doing the seva. But they're helping us in the Sangat. How? Kar kirpa diya milai. By blessing us, they've joined us with Vaheguru. So these saints who themselves have found Vaheguru, who have become one with God, are now helping us join with Vaheguru as well. So for example, it's like a bachola. That when people get married, they have someone who introduces a boy and a girl. That's what saints are meant to be like. A saint is someone who knows the family, someone who knows God. And their job now is to come to us and tell us about who God is, tell us who Vaheguru is and say, this is Vaheguru. Vaheguru is amazing. Come and experience God. Come and experience Gurbani. The saints will come to us and tell us the greatness of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. They'll say Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is the true Guru. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Bani is through how you can find God and realize God. Santa da kam hai ki sanu Guru de naal jorna, le Vaheguru de naal jorna. And a lot of people, and again I've said this a few times, will talk about ke Sant mare, Babe mare. Bande bhi mare, buriya bhi mare, kutte bhi mare, bandar bhi mare. Je ahi gal karte mare sari duniya mari ya. But like with everybody else, there's good and there's bad. Now it's not for me to judge anybody and say so-and-so is good, but so-and-so is bad. But if we meet a Gursikh, if we meet a Gurmukh, and all they tell us is to read more Gurbani, all they teach us is about the greatness of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, the greatness of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, the greatness of Vaheguru. And if we see the qualities that Sikhi teaches in that person, then we know we're in the right Sangat. Just because a person is called a certain word doesn't make them good, doesn't make them bad. The word is not what makes a person a good or a bad person. It's their actions, it's the deeds, it's the words they speak, it's the way they act and live. So at the moment, there's this big thing where anybody dressed in white is seen as a thug or a thief or a criminal or someone who's just trying to join people to them. And there definitely are those kind of bad people out there who are taking people away from Sikhi and joining them with themselves. But like I said, we're not here to judge people or to point fingers. What we're trying to here to do is talk about what Gurbani says. And what Gurbani says is Sant Sahai Ram ke kar kripa diya melai. So there are those true saints that exist. And these true saints, these true Gurmukhs are like diamonds. A diamond is simply an evolution of coal. Diamond is simply rock that's been crushed under pressure. That could have been coal, it could have been a lump of coal that's going to get black and dirties your hands, dirties your clothes, or it could be a diamond. So these are what saints are like. Saints are like the diamonds amongst the coal. They're the diamonds amongst humanity. And if we're lucky enough to find them, then and they are the right kind of saints, like Jonas Umar, then we're very lucky. Where do you find these saints? You find them in the Sangat. You come to the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Sangat and you'll find the saints in the Sangat. They may not even look amazing. They may not have great clothes. They may not have 50 people sitting around them. They may be a quiet, single person. But if they have these qualities, their mind is calm, then they can help us join to Vaheguru. Then Maharaj goes on to say, Sej Sohavi Sarva Sukh, Hun Dukha Nahi Jaye. Sej is like a bed. Sej Sohavi is a beautiful bed. Sarva Sukh. Sarva Sukh is all Sukh. Sukh is happiness, pleasures. Sej Sohavi. So what does Maharaj talk about this bed, Sej Sohavi? Maharaj, as we know, talks about different metaphors. And one of the metaphors Maharaj uses again and again is of us being the bride and Vaheguru being the husband. The Vaheguru is a groom and we're his soul brides. Our souls are the brides of Vaheguru. So what Maharaj is talking about here is Sej Sohavi. Maharaj is saying that my bed, my mind is made beautiful. It's ready for Vaheguru to come as my husband Lord now to me. Or I'm ready to go to my husband Lord. I as a body, I as a being am now fit, in a fit state for my husband Lord to lay there, to exist within that. So Maharaj uses different examples, different metaphors for the relationship between human being and Vaheguru. So Sahaj Sahavi, my bed is beautiful, so my mind, my body, my characteristics, my lachan, my gun are now of that beautiful state. Sarva Sukh, I have found Sare Sukh. All the Sukh that the world wants, I have now obtained. I've got that immense pleasure and ananda. Hun Dukha Nahi Jai. Hun, now, Dukha Nahi Jai. I will no longer feel any pain. Now again, different types of pain. There's the physical pain that we often experience when we hit our knee off a table, or we break an arm or a leg. Ovi dukh hunda. That pain is because our body sends signals to our brain to say, this hurt. Then there's the pain of separation, when someone that we love leaves us. Koi tii putt ja koi rishtaedar koi sat dur ho janda, sanu oda dukh hunda. Jo koi shareer chhad janda, sanu oda dukh hunda. Dukh aada vi hunda ki sada janam marnya, oda vi dukh ya. When we're born, it's painful. When we're going to die, it's painful. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, Guru Arjan Dev Ji saying here, that those who have got this anand in the month of Phalgun, those who have realized who Vaheguru is, those who through the saints and their mercy have realized Maharaj, have joined with Maharaj, they themselves are beautiful. They have sare sukh, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਤੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ। ਨਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਆ? ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਾਰ-ਵਾਰ ਦੱਸਣ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਕਿ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਗਿਆਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਜੋ ਸਰੀਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ, ਜੋ ਮਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਗਿਆਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੋਵੇ, if we had agyan means lack of knowledge. Gyan is knowledge, agyan is lack of knowledge. Maharaj says, if we had gyan of who Vaheguru was, ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕੌਣ ਆ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ, ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕੌਣ ਆ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਨ ਆਏ ਆ, ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਆ, ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੇ। If we had this gyan, we wouldn't feel pain. If we had this gyan, we wouldn't need to go through birth and death again and again. As human beings, Gurbani teaches us we've been through 8.4 million lives to have this human life. 8.4 million life cycles we've been through to this human life, and now in this human life, we have the opportunity to meet God, to meet Vaheguru. ਕਿ 84 ਲੱਖ ਜੀਵਨ ਕੱਟ ਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਨੁੱਖਾ ਜੀਵ ਮਿਲਿਆ। ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੇਖੇ ਅਸੀਂ, ਜੰਮਣ ਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ, ਮਰਨ ਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ, ਵਿਛੋੜੇ ਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ, ਕਈ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ, ਪਰ ਦੁੱਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਅਗਿਆਨ ਕਰਕੇ। ਜੇ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ, then what happens is this 8.4 million life cycle that we're in, we leave that cycle. We're liberated from that cycle. The moment we realize who Vaheguru is, the moment we're able to connect to God, to realize God, to have pragat, to be able to see God in every place, then we have that gyan, we have the knowledge, we have the truth. We realize what the truth is, that there is only Vaheguru. This whole world exists within Vaheguru. The whole universe exists within Vaheguru. Everything that we see is Vaheguru. Everything that we hear is Vaheguru. Everything that we touch, we smell, we taste is Vaheguru. Sara kuch Vaheguru hi hai. Vaheguru to bina hor koi cheez nahi. पर इस गल का सानू ज्ञान नहीं भावें असीं गल्लां भी कर ली हाँ मैं भी कहना कि सब कुछ वाहिगुरू आ गल्लां करनियां सौखी जो मन दे च गल टिकाउणी मन दे च गल मननी इस गल च विश्वास रखना वो गल औखी आ and this is the gyan that we don't have but this is the gyan that Tan Sahib Sri Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj blesses with every single Shabd they're giving us this knowledge they're teaching this again and again and again so we are liberated from this cycle of life and death so we can realize who Vaheguru is and we can have this sukh we can have this anand this feeling of bliss and pleasure. Now, one of the dukhs we often have is fear. Fear is a massive driver of pain. When we're afraid, we're in pain. We're afraid of many different things. But again, if we realize that the hukam, that everything is happening within Vaheguru's hukam, everything is happening within Vaheguru's will, if we had that gyan and we could accept it and understand it, then we're again liberated from that pain of fear. But again, I'm just saying these words, I'm on the same journey as everybody else. We need to try and understand the gyan that Guru Granth Sahib has given us. So then this Bani applies to us. So again, this Pankti says, Sahej sahavi sarva sukh, hun dukha nahi jai. Hun dukha nahi, haman koi dukh nahi. Once we have those gun, once we have those qualities within us, and we have met Vaheguru. Then Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, In ich puni vadapagani, varapaya hararai. Ich puni vadapagani. Vadapagani is vadde pag. Jide vadde pag hai. The person is great fortunes. Jide vadde pag hai, ich puni. Udi ਇੱਛਾ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ. And again, ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ. ਕਈ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਇੱਛਾ, ਕਈ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਇੱਛਾ. Someone's ਇੱਛਾ, someone's desire is for children. ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੋਣ. The person who hasn't got a job, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਛਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਮਿਲੇ. ਜਿਹਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਛਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਛਾ ਸੁੱਖ ਦੀ ਜੇ ਗਰੀਬ ਬੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਛਾ ਮਾਇਆ ਦੀ all these desires that we have Maharaj says these desires get puri vadapagni with good fortune these desires get fulfilled varapaya hararai har is Vaheguru's name rai is the king paya is to prapat so again our husband Lord when I obtain my husband Lord Maharaj says all my desires are complete ਮੇਰੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਪੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਦੋਂ ਕਿਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਵਰਪਾਇਆ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਸ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਭੁਲਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ because the moment when we find Vaheguru the moment we connect with Vaheguru all the small desires that we have the worldly desires they disappear and the one desire we have at the final moment is for Vaheguru when we can have that one desire that Maharaj all I want is you Maharaj, all I want to experience is your Anand. Maharaj, all I want to experience is your name. Maharaj, all I want is your seva. Because Maharaj, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਹੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ. Maharaj, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ. Maharaj, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਾਧਾ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ. Maharaj, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਧੂਰੀ ਬਣਾ ਦਿਓ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ. ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਆ ਗਈਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮਿਲਣਾ. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੁਨਿਆਵੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹਾਂ. ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੋਂ ਮੰਗਣਾ. ਜੋ ਬੱਚਾ ਰੋਂਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਡੈਡੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ. ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਹੀ ਆ. But as ਬੱਚੇ we must grow up ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਾ ਜਵਾਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੋ ਬੱਚਾ ਛੋਟੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਿ ਡੈਡੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ ਮਾਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਮ ਦੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੋਂ ਮੰਗੀਏ ਕਿ ਛੋਟੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪਾਸੇ ਕਰੀਏ ਲੈ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੰਗੀਏ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾਮ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ bless me with your love ਮਹਾਰਾਜ bless me with your name ਮਹਾਰਾਜ bless me the opportunity to see you Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj bless me so I can recognize who you truly are ਕਿ Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਰੂਪ ਦਿਖਾਓ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰੂਪ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਉਮਰ ਵੱਧਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਮੰਗਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ Just as children grow up, we need to grow up spiritually and ask for these things. So again, the Maharaj Pankti says, Ichpuni vadapagani varpaya harai. So my desire, jo meri ਇੱਛਾ ਸੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਵਰਪਾਇਆ ਹਰਾਏ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਪਾ ਗਿਆ I am fortunate enough to be blessed by your darshan and be blessed to meet you and receive you as my husband Lord. Then Maharaj says, Mil sahiya mangal gavahi geet govind alai. Maharaj Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Mil sahiya. Sahiya is like friends, your sisters. Mil sahiya mangal gavi. Mangal, I like songs. So Maharaj says, meeting my friends, I sing these songs. Geet Govind alai. Songs about Govind, songs about Vaheguru, songs about God, songs about our husband Lord. So who's Maharaj talking about? These sahiya, these friends. Maharaj is talking about, again, the Sangat. Maharaj is talking about those people who are already in love with Vaheguru. Oh sahiya, oh sade asli dost, oh sade asli mittar sajjan a, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਦੇ ਆ, ਆਪ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਦੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਓ ਗਾਓ, ਆ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਪੜੋ, ਆ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜੋ, ਨਾਮ ਜਪੋ. ਐਂਡ ਇਨ ਜੋਇਨਿੰਗ ਵਿਦ ਦੈਮ, ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ, ਸੱਜਣਾਂ ਨਾਲ, ਸਹੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਦੇ ਗੀਤ ਗਾਓ. This is why Kirtan has such a high place in Sikhi. Kirtan is there, so when we come to Sangat, ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰੀਏ, ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸੁਣੀਏ, ਗਾਈਏ. And Maharaj says, in this age of Kaljug, Kirtan is one of the greatest weapons the Guru has given us to fight in the age of Kaljug and to regain ourselves and know who we truly are and to find God. So when we come to the Sangat, again, we did this Benti last week as well. When we come to the Sangat, if we sit in the Sangat and we do gallan with each other about our children, about our jobs, about our families, and dukh sukh, haan theek hai, Sangat da sahara bhi hunda, dunyavi sahara bhi chahiਦਾ Sangat ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. Par if we come to the Gurdwara Sahib, ਆਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ, ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਗਾਇਆ, ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਣੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਖੇਗੀ ਆ. ਫਿਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਛ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਗਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਨੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ, ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ, ਉਸ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਸੂਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਜੇ ਆਉਂਗੇ ਲੈ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਉਂਗੇ, ਮਿਲ ਸਹੀਆ ਮੰਗਲ ਗਾਵੇ ਹੀ ਗੀਤ ਗੋਵਿੰਦ ਅਲਾਏ. ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ, ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪੋ, ਤਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਸਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਗੇ. If we come and do what Guruji says, if we come here and we just chill like it was a community centre and go home, then we'll get that. If we come here and we say to Guru Granth Sahib, Maharaj bless me, then we'll get that. It all depends on what we come here to do. It all depends on what we come here in our hearts and our minds to achieve. Because Gurdwara Sahib ਆਉਂਦੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਆ? ਜੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੱਦਾ ਪੱਤਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਗਏ ਤਾਈ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ, ਨਾ ਗਏ ਮਾਮੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਆਏ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਤੇ, ਚਲਾ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ. But if we're going to come, ਜੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੁਛ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਈਏ. ਜੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਆ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ, ਜੇ ਘੰਟਾ ਬੈਠੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ 5 ਮਿੰਟ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ. ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ ਇੱਕ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਨੂੰ, ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣ ਲਈਏ. ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ. And that means focus, that means attention, that means lovingly listen to what our Guru is saying to us. And this is where we have to put the effort in. But again, Maharaj says, meet those people who are singing the gun of Maharaj. Then Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Har jeha avar na disei, koi duja lave na laye. Look at this beautiful pankti Guru Arjan Dev Ji has written. Har Vaheguru jeha, ode varga, ode jeha avar na disei. Hor koi nahi dasda Vaheguru de angar. Hor Hari de vangar, Vaheguru de vangar koi hai nahi koi dasda. Koi duja lave na laye. There is no one equal to him. So sometimes we say, God, is there someone else? You know, and some people get confused in Sikhi. They go, well, there's 10 gods. Well, there isn't. There's only one God in Sikhi. Let's make that very clear, very simple. There's only one God. Not just in Sikhi, there's only one God, full stop. There's only Ekko Ankar, full stop. And there's no one equal to him. So we don't believe that Katha Vaheguru. On the other hand, there's devil. And the devil and Vaheguru are competing and they're fighting with each other and they're trying to get capture of us. No, it's not like that. There is no one equal to Vaheguru. There's no one that can stand up to Vaheguru. The devil, the demons, the sin, that's all within us. And these things do exist, but they can't equal Vaheguru. They have duties because Vaheguru's given them duties. They have things that they do and punishments they deliver because Vaheguru's given to them. Nobody is equal to Vaheguru. There's no one as beautiful as Vaheguru. There's no one as gracious as Vaheguru. There's no one as Dayalu, compassionate, kind, merciful as Vaheguru. There's no one like Vaheguru Akal Purkh. And equally, there's no one like Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji. There's no one like Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. If we look around us, the people that we know, our friends, our families, there's some great people, there's some very good people, but there's no one equal to Tan Tan Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Why? Because Tan Tan Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj is Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. And there's never been anyone like Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj on this earth. So when Maharaj is talking here about Har Jeha Avar Na Disei, Ekta Har Hari Parameshwarya. And then we have our Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj as well. Duja Lave Na Lai. Let's not get confused. Let's not think that the blessings we're going to get from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj we're going to get from anywhere else. We need some help, we need some guidance, we need some prem, we need some pyar, we need some compassion. Let's come to the Sangat, let's come to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Ithyo milna hor kityo nahi milna aa cheeza. Then Maharaj says, Halat palat swaryo ne, nahe chale dittiyan na jaye. Halat hai, ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਪਲਤ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਫਟਰ ਵੀ ਡਾਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਵਾਰਦਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਵਾਰਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਵਾਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਨੇਚਲ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ and when we then die Maharaj gives us a place within himself Maharaj gives us an eternal place to rest to be with him so again we don't need to come back into this jona marna this cycle of life and death Maharaj settles our account here Maharaj settles our account after we die and we're his now. Again, think of it as a personal relationship. If Maharaj has that much prem for us, Maharaj ne sanu inna pyar hai Maharaj nu sade naal ki sade mere bacche han Maharaj sade ithe sara kuch sawar ke rakhda pita angar ya mata angar agge vi jana Maharaj nu pata ki mere dhi patni ithe hona oh vi Maharaj sawar ke sari bishay karke rakhda ki meri dhi patni ithe rehna hona fir mor ke Maharaj sanu janam maran de chakkar ch gere ch kad ke rakhda कि मर के मेरा धी पुत दुख ना मर के देखे आ सारी कृपा गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी महाराज करते हैं ये सारी कृपा वाहिगुरु आप करते हैं संसार सागर ते रखे न बोहर ना जन्मे ताए संसार सागर वाहिगुरु Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj is saying here sansar is the creation, the world. Sagar is like the ocean. And again, we said Maharaj uses different examples to teach us about Sikhi. The world in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is often described as an ocean. Maharaj ne kai wari duniya nu sagar, samundar sadhya. Kyun? Maharaj says we have come on this earth and the reason we come is to cross this ocean, to get through life. But the world is like an ocean. What happens with an ocean? What happens with the samundar? There's waves and there's storms and there's a threat that we might drown, we can get lost. And Maharaj saying the world is just like that, because in this world we can get lost, we can get misguided. Kei wari bande nu samundar paar karda gwaach janda, pata nahi ki kidhar nu jana. Dharti te dasdi nahi koi, pani hunda kalla. We lose our bearings, north, east, south, west. We can get lost in this, on this samundar, on this ocean of the world. We can drown, because on this ocean, the boat is Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Is samundar te jo jahaj hai, oh Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, oh bani hai. But if we let go of the boat of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, which is guiding us across this world ocean to the truth, to God, if we fall out this boat, if we let go of this boat, then we're going to drown. And what do we drown in? We drown in emotional attachment. Moh de vich assi dub jande hain. Krodh de vich assi dub jande hain. Anger, we drown in anger. We drown in lust. We drown in all of these things that Maharaj tries to protect us from. We drown in these things. But jehड़ी चीज़ तो Maharaj सानू बचाने की कोशिश करते हैं कि तुसी बाणी पढ़ो, सेवा करो, इस चीज़ों तो बच के रहो. जैसे Maharaj जैसे बाण छड़ दईए तो फिर इस चीज़ों से जरूर डूबेंगे. This is what Maharaj used in the world, the example of a sagar as an ocean of the world, as an example of Maharaj is saying here, sansar sagar te rakhiya na. He himself protects us, rakhya, protects us from this world ocean. Bahor na janme tae. And again, Maharaj says, we don't have to come back into this birth and life again. Janam marna lekha sada kathe janda. Then Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj says, in the last two panktiyan in this shabd, Jeva ek anek gun, tere nanak charni pae. Maharaj says, Jeva ek. Jev is like jeev. Jev ek hai. Maharaj Guru Arjan Dev Ji, meri jeev ek hai. I've only got one tongue. Anek gun. You have many qualities. Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying, I've only got one tongue. With one tongue, how can I sing so many of your qualities? In other parts of Gurbani, Maharaj says, if I had 100,000 tongues and 100,000 years, I still can't sing your qualities. We can talk as fast as we want, we can write as much as we want. We're never going to be able to truly comprehend and write down and sing the qualities of Vaheguru. Everything that we've had in our life, Vaheguru has given us. The air we breathe now, Vaheguru gives us. The water we drink, the food we have, the love we experience from our families and our friends. All of this comes from Vaheguru. The opportunity to get free of this life and to feel that amazing bliss, contentment comes from Vaheguru. Vaheguru gives us all of this. Now how can we use this one feeble tongue to sing those praises? So Jeva ek anek gun. And then Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Tere nanak charni pae. So Maharaj Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is saying, how am I saved? If one tongue cannot sing so many of your praises, I'm saved by falling at your feet. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj Guru Nanak Dev Ji da naam leke kehndे आ, Tere nanak charni pae. कि एक जीव ते तेरे गुण गा नहीं सकती. हिम्मत नहीं एक जीव दे च कि तेरे इन्ने गुण गा लवां कि किद्दां बख्शिया जाना, किद्दां मैं रखिया जाना। How can I be saved? By falling in your feet, कि तेरे चरनां च जाके जे मैं डिग पवां तो मैं बच जूँगा। गुरु अर्जन देव जी महाराज दी निम्रता देखो कि एक मेरी कल्ली जीव की कर लूगी, तेरे चरनां च मैनूं मुक्ति मिलनी है। Maharaj saying, may I fall at your feet in humility to Vaheguru and save me as your child. Then the last pankti for the month of Phalgun, Maharaj says, Phalgun nit salahi hai, jisnu til na tamaye. So in the month of Phalgun, nit salahi hai. In the month of Phalgun, meditate on him constantly. In the month of Phalgun, sing his praises constantly. But then Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj says at the end there, jisnu til na tamaye. He doesn't need a tel. Tel means like a smallest grain. He's not greedy for these praises. Because sometimes people say, why worship Vaheguru? Ke bani padhan da lor feda ki hai. Some people even say कि महाराज वाहिगुरु वो चाहते हैं कि मेरे गुण गाउण लोकी कि वाहिगुरु must be egotistical कि शायद वाहिगुरु हंकार है कि मैं दुनिया बनाई है, मैं सृष्टि बनाई है, हम मेरे गुण गाउण कि महाराज वाहिगुरु आनंद आंदा. Some people have this idea that Vaheguru, having created the universe, is now saying these people should sing my praises, so Vaheguru gets happiness or he needs his praises. No. Maharaj says here, Jisnu til na tamay. He doesn't need this. Vaheguru, the creator, who created the universe, he created time, created all of us, doesn't need us to sing his praises. In Rera Sahib, it says, if we sing him, he doesn't get any better. If we don't sing them, he doesn't get any smaller. He's unaffected. Vaheguru is unaffected by us singing or not singing his praises. The only people who are affected by singing or not singing is us. जे बानी पढ़ोगे साडा फायदा, जे बानी ना पढ़ोगे ना सेवा करोगे तो असी हारना, ना वाहिगुरु ने वधना ना वाहिगुरु ने घटना. असी बानी ओहदे लिए नहीं पढ़ते, असी बानी अपने लिए पढ़ते हैं. To save ourselves we read Gurbani, to save ourselves we do Simran, to save ourselves we do meditation. To serve humanity and to have the compassion is why we do these things. Not because Vaheguru needs them. Vaheguru doesn't need us to sing his praises. He's a Akal Purkh, he's one, he's beyond time, he's beyond praise. Even if we fought, he needs my praises. What can one tongue do? How can one feeble little tongue sing his praises? He doesn't need us. We need him. प्यारे नू साडी लोड़ नहीं, सानू प्यारे दी लोड़ है. So we have to sing his praises, not because he wants us to. Why? Because he has that compassion. He wants us to sing his praises, not because he needs them, because he knows it's good for us. He has given us this Gurbani because it benefits us, and we will be saved while we read this Gurbani. It does something to us spiritually. It allows us to progress spiritually. It's for us. And he himself has blessed us with this Gurbani. वे कदे ना मन दे च लाई कि मैं बानी पढ़दा कि महाराज नूं लोड़ है मेरी बानी पढ़न दी, या महाराज नूं लोड़ है मेरी सेवा दी, या महाराज नूं लोड़ है मेरे नाम जपन दी. महाराज नूं नहीं लोड़, सानू लोड़ है. And कई बारी जे असीं मन दे हंकार जे असीं मन हंकार कर दईए, if we sometimes have ego in our minds, okay, I'm doing so much of this, I'm doing so much of that, I'm doing so much part, I'm doing so much seva, if we start thinking this in our minds, then again we've lost the track of where we're meant to be going. We're doing so much because we need so much. जे असीं ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जे असीं सेवा करते हैं वो सेवा महाराज बख्शदा. If we're doing a lot of seva, because Maharaj knows that we need that much seva. If we're doing a lot of nityanem, it's only because he's blessed us with that nityanem and we need that nityanem. So let's not get into this thing where I'm doing so much. You're only doing what he blesses you with, and you're only doing it because he knows you need it. And that's me as well. So if we look back in this month of Phalgun, so in this 12th month of the Sikh calendar, and there's one more shabd which finishes the Bani, which we're going to discuss in the last 10-15 minutes as well. But in the 12th month, Maharaj, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj told his Sikhs at the start of this month, ke Phalgun anand upar jana har sajan pragate aaye. And this whole shabd, it simply explains this, that the great bliss, the great anand, peace, contentment, happiness comes to those who have realized Vaheguru. Those who have seen the darshan of Vaheguru, those who have become one with Vaheguru, experience this amazing bliss. And then Maharaj goes on to explain that this bliss comes through the great saints who introduce us and meet us to the Sangat, who introduce us to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, who sit with us in the Sangat and sing the qualities, sing the gun, sing Kirtan, sing Gurbani, sing Naam. And through this, we obtain these qualities of Sat, truth, Santokh, contentment, compassion, mercy, forgiveness. And in doing all of this, then our souls become pure. We get that happiness. Pain, dukh leaves us. And then we become one with him. And then again, Maharaj says, here he sorts us out. After death, he'll sort us out, and we're free from this birth of life and death. So in this month, this is the message that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj sent to the Sangat. And it's pretty much the same message every month. Sangat vich baitho naam japo seva karo. Fall in love with Vaheguru. Realize why you're here. So this is the teachings that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj gave in the month of Phalgun. Now the last Shabad in the Bani called Barah Mahah. So the Barah Mahah Bani, there's 12 months. And at the start, there's a Shabad, and at the end, there's a Shabad. So there's 14 Shabds altogether in the Bani written by Barah Mahah. Now if you've ever been to Sri Darbar Sahib, Harmandir Sahib, if you go to where the Langar Hall is, opposite the Langar Hall, there's a little garden area. And if you go opposite that again, there's a place called Manji. They call it Manji Hall. It's basically where they do the big Katha, big divans, big gatherings take place there. And just as you walk towards the Darbar Sahib, and you've got the Manji Hall on your left-hand side, so Langar Hall's on your right-hand side, the Manji Hall, where the big conference is happening, on your left-hand side, just before you wash your feet, there's a little place. Bahut chota ja sthan hai us poke. Khabbe paase. That is where Guru Arjan Dev Ji sat down and recited this Bani. So if next time, if you're in Sri Harmandir Sahib, you go to Mathatek, have a look, and there's a little board which says here, this is Maharaj Uttard Barah Mahah Bani. It's only a small place. It looks like a Palki Sahib. Just outside the main Manji Hall Diwan. And then this is the final Shabad that Maharaj wrote as part of this Bani on the Benti of the Sikhs. So Maharaj in this Shabad says, Jin Jin Naam Te Aaya, Tinke Kaaj Sare. Look at this beautiful Gurbani that Maharaj writes. Jin Jin Naam Te Aaya, those who have meditated on the name of Vaheguru, Tinke Kaaj Sare. Their Kaaj, their affairs, their worldly activities, everything is sorted out for them. Jin Jin Naam Te Aaya, Tinke Kaaj Sare. Why? Because Vaheguru is in control of everything. Vaheguru can change anything and everything if he wants. If Vaheguru wants to change our destiny, if Vaheguru wants to change what's going to happen in our future, he can do that. He has the ability to do that because it's his pen. Our future is written by Vaheguru's pen. Our future is written on a piece of paper that Vaheguru himself created. The ink himself is Vaheguru. The pen, the paper, the ink is all Vaheguru. So he can change whatever he wants. And who does he change it for? He changes it for his beloved. And he says, Jin Jin Naam Te Aaya, Tinke Kaaj Sare. So on the way, we were driving with a friend this morning, and a Sakhi that we read was about Baba Karam Singh Ji, Hoti Mardan Wale. Now there's an amazing Mahapurush, and there's many, many stories in Gurbani, in Sikhi as well. But basically Baba Karam Singh, they were in the army, and one evening they had a duty on, and they were meant to stand sentry, guard, and it was their duty, but what they were doing, they're doing the Rera Sahib Bani. And while they're doing Rera Sahib Bani, they got into Anand, bliss. And basically they became so one with Vaheguru, their mind became so focused on Vaheguru that they forgot who they were, forgot where they were. They just got complete bliss, contentment. Just imagine that for a second. Where your connection with Vaheguru is so great, the ras means like flavour. The feeling of being one with Vaheguru is so great, so beautiful, so amazing, they forgot everything else. And they just sat there in this Anand, in this amazing pleasure, bliss with Vaheguru. And when they finally came out of this bliss, Baba Karam Singh Ji, they went to one of their friends and they said, I'm going to be in trouble now. I was meant to do my duty, I didn't turn up. The person that he's meant to do duty with, the person goes, no, you were there. He goes, you're standing right next to me. He goes, you had an amazing presence about you. Baba Karam Singh says, no, it can't be. I was doing Nitnem, I was doing my part. I didn't leave that spot. And then Baba Karam Singh found out that it wasn't he himself who got that. If we read this Bani, what does Bani say? Jin Jin Naam Te Aaya, Tinke Kaaj Sare. Baba Karam Singh Ji, Hoti Mardan Wale, जो मौके Rera Sahib दे पाठ च नंद विच बह गए सी, उस मौके Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj ने आप आके उन्हें ड्यूटी लाई. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj himself came and stood in the sanctuary with duty for Baba Karam Singh. He himself completed that task. So those people who meditate on Vaheguru, those people who become one with Vaheguru, Vaheguru himself will come and do what needs to happen for them. There's a Bhagat in Gurbani. This Bhagat wanted someone, they should do a lot of seva for a lot of saints. And this is all in Gurbani, the Sakhis. And they should do a lot of seva for saints. And the wife of this Bhagat said to Bhagat Ji, said, look, I can't do so much seva. I'm doing so much seva. We have so many people to look after that we can't do all the housework. जो घर वार दा जो घर दे काम है वो नहीं पूरे होंगे क्योंकि असी साधु संगतां दी सेवा करते हैं कि सानू कोई ना कोई रखना चाहिए कोई बंदा काम करने लिए. And while they were talking, a little boy came to the door. And they said, what's your name? He says, my name's Antarjami. And they said, okay, we need someone to work. He goes, if you need work. I'll do the housework. And said, thanu kinni tankhah chahidi hai? He goes, I haven't got any family, minu pehe di lor nahi. Idda karo, tusi minu prashada khila diya karo. Prashada liye main kam kar dunga. They go, theek hai. But then the little boy Antarjami gave them a rule. He says, whatever you do, just don't do manindya. Just don't do manindya, and I'm fine to do the work for you. And then he started working for them. So Bhagat Ji and Mata Ji were doing the seva. Whenever people would come to do seva, help them, feed them, serve them in whatever way they could. And this little boy called Antarjami would do all the karda kam. Eventually, and unfortunately, one day Mata Ji was complaining to a neighbor. And she says, the boy does a lot of good work, but sometimes he eats too many prashadde. He eats too many prashadde, and the neighbors are going, oh, maybe we should find someone else. When Mataji came home, Antarjami wasn't there anymore. And when she went to see to her husband and said, where's Antarjami gone? Bhagji said, did you say anything today? And she goes, I was saying to my neighbor, ki prashad bahut khanda. And then Bhagji said to him, in a very nice way, explained to his wife, that boy wasn't a boy, that boy was Vaheguru himself. Vaheguru himself came to serve his saints. Because Vaheguru's saints were serving the Sangat. The Vaheguru's saints were doing seva, were doing nama abhyas. And their house was going to fall apart because they didn't have time to do both. Vaheguru himself came in the form of a young boy Antarjami to do their seva. But he said to them, don't ever do manindya because otherwise I can't stay. And then when that nindya happened, Vaheguru left. But there's a Shabad in Gurbani, which I'll share with you guys in the future, Maharaj Kirpa Karan, with the Sangat, where Bhagavad actually writes, okay, this is the mistake you made. And this is who Vaheguru is, and this is how Vaheguru protects and looks after his saints. We've all know the Sakya about Bhagavad Namdev Ji. When Bhagavad Namdev Ji the mandir gaye si. And Bhagavad Namdev Ji wanted to go inside to do kirtan, to sing the praises of God. But the Brahmins, who were the high caste Hindus at the time, wouldn't let him in because they said, you're a low caste. Ki tu teri shoti jaat hai, tu nahi mandir cha sakda, tu nahi gun ga sakda Vaheguru de. They kicked him out. They kicked him out and they threw him around the back of the mandir. They go, tu more bhi nahi beh sakda. Because he sat outside, he started playing his shoes, started playing whatever he could as instruments. They go, you can't even sit there. They made him sit around the back of the mandir. So you had the building of the mandir, and you had a wall which went around the side and a little doorway. They made him sit around the back because he's such a low caste. कि तेरी छोटी जात या कि तू ना अंदर बैठ सकदा, ना तू दरवाजे दे मोरे बैठ सकदा, तू जाके पीछे बैठ जा. उत्थे भगत नामदेव जी अपनी बाणी पढ़ना पे, गुण गाना पे वाहिगुरु दे. And what happened? वाहिगुरु जो तिनके काज सृजना, जो काज सवारदा, the wall around the mandir twisted, and the doorway to the mandir turned until it faced Bhagat Namdev Ji. And if you go now, and this mandir, it's towards Hazur Sahib ways, udhar nu jaake ya. Hajevi, the doorway to go into the main outer gate is at the back. You then have to walk around the mandir to go into the mandir from the opposite side. So those people who meditate on Vaheguru, those people who become one with Vaheguru, Maharaj themselves sorts out all of their kaaj, sorts out all of their affairs. So jin naam te aaya, tinke kaaj sare. Har Guru pura aradhya, darghe sach khare. Har Guru pura aradhya. So those who meditate on Hari, Vaheguru, Parameshwar, Guru Pura, the complete Guru, aradhya. Aradhya again is to concentrate and to meditate and focus on Vaheguru's name. Darghe sach khare. In Darghe, in Dargah, which is a court where we're all going to go after we die, when we're judged on the things we've done. We're not judged on our caste. जो दरगाह ਨੂੰ ਜਾਇਦਾ ਆਣੀ ਕੋ ਪੁੱਛਾ ਕਿ ਤੇਰੀ ਜਾਤ ਕੀ ਸੀ, ਜਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਬੀਬੀ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਜਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਕਮਾਏ, ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛੀ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ. ਨਾਮ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਜਪਿਆ, ਮਨ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਰੱਖਿਆ, ਦਇਆ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੀਤੀ, ਖਿਮਾ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੀਤੀ, how compassionate were you, how merciful were you, how forgiving were you, did you stand by your word, were you lustful, were you angry, were you greedy, did you do any seva? These are the qualities, these are the actions that we're judged on when we go to Dharamraj, not the things that we spend so much of our life wasting our focus on. And the biggest thing that's assessed there is naam japya ja nahi. And Maharaj says, Har Gur Pura Aradhya Darge Sach Khare. Those who have meditated on Vaheguru's name, those who jinne naam Aradhya Maharaj da Darge Sach Khare, they are deemed truthful in that quote. Ke banda sacha. So no matter what else happens in life, the only way to be truthful in the court of God is to by meditating and focusing on His name. Even the good actions we do don't count for as much as the Naam Simran. If we live a good life, and we live a very good life where we donate a lot of money, let's say, and we're very helpful, we're very kind, we're very generous. कि ऐसे जैसे सच्चे कर्म भी करिए, शुभ गुण शुभ कर्म भी करिए कि मैं सारे मैं मिठा बोलदा, मैं दान बहुत करदा, सेवा भी बहुत की, सारे मैं हस के बढ़ाया, किसी ने गाल नहीं कढ़ी, भावें सारा कुछ कर लीए, जो नाम नहीं जपया फिर भी नहीं कोई फल पैंदा दा। फल तो सिर्फ नाम दे नाल ही हुंदा, कमाई नाम की कमाई हुंदी आ भी गुण करने आ शुभ गुण भी करने आ। वी हैव टू डू these pure actions, we have to have these good actions, but with that naam they're not as complete. It's naam which is a currency that's accepted in the court of God. So हर गुर पूरा आराध्या दरगाह सच खरे, वो दरगाह विच सच्चे वो खड़े जांदे, वो गिने जांदे आ जिन्हां ने गुरु दा नाम आराध्या होया। सर्ब सुखा निध चरण हर, भौ जल बिख में तरे। Sarb sukh, again, all happiness, all peace, all anything which gives us that desire of that feeling of anand and sukhi. Nid is treasure, charan har. So that treasure of happiness, all happiness, the treasure of all happiness is found in the feet of Vaheguru. Ode charna ch sare sukh milde a. Paujal bikh mein tare. Paujal, again, this world ocean jo sagar samundar si pichli shabd padya hi, ਉਹ ਤਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਪੌਜਲ ਬਿਖ ਮੈਂ ਤਰੇ, the corrupt world that we're living in, ਉਹ ਤਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। We don't get caught up in the waves of corruption, we don't get caught up in the waves of anger or lust. And all happiness is found in the feet of Vaheguru. Now where is the feet of Vaheguru? Again, we talked about this a couple of weeks back. The feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji were the physical feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. The feet of Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj are the Shabad that we place, the one that we focus on, the one that we lovingly meditate on. The feet of Vaheguru are the ones we put within our hearts. When we have that nimrata, we have that humility. And in doing that, we can cross this corrupt, horrible ocean of the world that we're living in. Then Maharaj, Guru Arjan Dev Ji does kirpa and says, Prem Bhagat Tin Paiya, Bekhya Nahe Jare. Prem Bhagat Tin Paiya. Prem is love. Bhagat is that devotion, the bhakti jari karniya. So those who have had this prem bhakti, those who have done this loving devotion, inhone prema bhakti kamaiya, bekhya nahi jare. Oh, bekhya vach nahi jarde, they don't burn again in this corruption. So we're talking about this corruption being maya. Maya is anything which takes us away from Vaheguru. Maya oh jeez nu kahi jandi, jo vi sanu Vaheguru to dur leke jandi hai, oh maya ya. But jene prema bhakti kiti ya, hat bhakti nahi ke jor naal. Forced, not forced bhakti, not forced meditation, but prem denal, with love. Now sometimes, to do something out of love, sometimes you have to force yourself. Sometimes when we go to the gym or we play football, sometimes you have to train hard. So initially, sometimes our knees are going to hurt, gode dukhne hai, tui dukhni hai, man nekena shad pare ki feda. Your mind's going to say, what's the point in doing this? And then we have to kind of force our body and our mind. But ultimately, it's the love, it's the meditation through prem that Maharaj accepts. And through this prem bhakti tin paiya, bekhya nahi jare, then we don't burn in the corruption around us. Because sometimes if we force things, and people talk about fanaticism, fanatics. We are fanatical, but we're fanatical about naam. We are fanatical, but we're fanatical about seva. Give me no naam di loria. Don't need anything else, just give me naam. I don't want anything else, just give me seva. I don't want anything else, I just want to be a compassionate, good Gursikh. These are the things which we're fanatical about. By being good, honest people that love Vaheguru, that live for Vaheguru, that save humanity. These are the things which we're fanatical about. We're not fanatics like the world sees fanatics. And when the world sees fanatics because they haven't got that prem, that love doesn't exist for Vaheguru. So we are fanatics, but our fanaticism is built out of prem, it's built out of love, it's built out of humility, it's built out of compassion. And we will do whatever it takes to do seva. We will do whatever it takes to wake up in the morning and do nityanem. We will do whatever it takes to try and help someone else. This is the kind of love and prem that Sikhi introduces, not the fanaticism that we see elsewhere in the world that's causing so much dukh in the world today. That's not the kind of fanaticism that Sikhi teaches, and that's the kind of fanaticism that burns people. It burns people, it turns people away. Sikhi is like a cool, soothing wind. Like it's been hot over the last few days, and you go into shade where you feel the breeze. That's what Sikhi does. Sikhi cools and soothes those who have been burnt by fanaticism over the other experiences, parts of life. And we don't burn in the world by having that loving prema bhagati. Then Maharaj says, Kood gaye dubda nasi, puran sach pare. So kood again, kaam, krodh, lobh, hankar, lust, ego, greed, attachment, anger. Maharaj says all of these things, they run away. These things run away, dubda nasi. Dubda is duality. दुबदा होंदी के वाहिगुरु है ज नहीं बानी पढ़ के मैंने कुछ मिलना ज नहीं this is dubada, we're not sure. Maharaj says again, by doing this prema bhakti, by having this loving devotion for God, we have that faith, we have that conviction in who Vaheguru is. Purana sacha pare. So Purana is to be complete such, so the truth overwhelms that person. Overwhelms that person, so they not only speak truth, but they are the truth, their actions are true, their mind is true, the words they speak are true, and they understand the truth again, which is that there is only Vaheguru. Then Maharaj says, Para Brahma Prabha Sevade, Man Andar Ekatare. Para Brahma, that Puran Brahma, the total and one complete Vaheguru. Prabha Sevade, they serve that Vaheguru. Man Andar Ekatare. Man, in their minds, Andar, within, Ek, one, Tare, again it's with Tar, to meditate, to focus on. So they serve Vaheguru, and in their minds, and in their hearts, and in their very being, they concentrate and meditate on the one Vaheguru Kalpurk. Then Maharaj says, Mahah Dev Samurat Pale. Jisko Nadar Kare. Maha, the months, Divas, the days, Murat, even the small seconds, Pale, they're all change, they're all Pale, they're all good. The months, the days, the seconds are all good. Whose? Jisko Nadar Kare. Upon that person who Maharaj glances. So if Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj looks at us, our months are good, our days are good, our seconds are good. Everything is seen as blessed if Guru Granth Sahib Ji looks at us, if Vaheguru looks at us. And again, if we look at Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj as our father in a crowded hall full of children who sees one child because it's his child. Same way Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj will see us as their children when we come to Sangat, when we do Seva, when we jap Naam. Maharaj's nadar is enough to cleanse all of our sins. Maharaj, one glance from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj can give us that mukti that we're looking for. But we also have to be worthy of that glance as well. And we have to be present. And that means present both physically, but also within our minds. That being present, again, doesn't necessarily even mean sitting in the Sangat. We're reading at home our Nityanem, we're doing our Simran, we're doing our Nityanem, we're doing our Japji Sahib, we're doing our Rera Sahib, our Kirtan Sohela, Sukhmani Sahib, whatever Bani we're reading. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is in that Gurbani. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is in that word Vaheguru. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is in that Japji Sahib. And that glance from that Gurbani is enough to save us. And in the final pankti of this Bani, Maharaj says, Nanak mange dar sadan, kirpa karo hare. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj says, Nanak mange dar sadan. Mange is to ask for, dar sadan. Dan is charity. Dan is like a blessing. Kisnu dan dena. Please dan karni. Dars, darshan. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Roop Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾਨਕ ਮੰਗੇ ਦਰਸਦਾਨ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਭੇਟਾ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦਿਓ ਦਰਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਹਰੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਹਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ. So Maharaj in his last pankti is saying, Nanak is asking for one thing, bless me with your darshan, bless me with your vision, bless me and show me who you are. And this alone, bless me and have mercy on me. And again it comes back to the shabd we just read about, seeing Vaheguru, realizing who Vaheguru is, experiencing Vaheguru, connecting with Vaheguru. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj in the form of Guru Arjan Dev Ji in the last pankti says, Nanak mange darsadan, kirpa karo hare, bless me with this mercy, show me who you are, reveal yourself to me. So as Sikhs, when we come to the Guru, these are the ardasan we do as Sikhs. Ke Maharaj minu apne darshan baksho. Maharaj, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, show me who you truly are. Maharaj, let me see beyond the Ramale. Maharaj, let me see beyond the ink. Let me see beyond your physical form. Let me see the Shabda. Let me see Vaheguru. Let me become one with that Vaheguru. Let me experience the Anand from meditating on that name. So these are ardasan of a Guru Sikh. So that brings us to the end of the Bani called Barah Mahah. So again, this was the advice that Guru Sahib gives the Guru Sikhs at the start of each month. And every time we come to Sangrand, which is the new month at the Gadura, the month Bani will be read. It's about 8 panktiyan. And that's what we're meant to focus on, meditate, or comprehend, or contemplate for that month. So all these recordings will eventually be on the YouTube channel for Seek to Inspire. So if you want to go back and listen to some of the previous Katha, that will be there. From next week, 6 to 7, we'll continue with the English Katha, and we'll start a new Bani next week. So Benti, please do try and attend, and we're going to continue with this as long as Maharaj's Kirpa and bless us with the Seva. Again, YouTube channel called Seek to Inspire if you want to check out any of the previous Katha videos. We've done Ram Kali Ki Var, Shabd Hazare, and now Barah Mahah Ki Bani, and we'll start something new next week. So if I've said anything wrong, please do forgive me. You are the Sangat, and I come to you again for your blessings. Guru di Saad Sangat, jab das ko koi galtiyan hogi bol diyan, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਅਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦੇਣਾ ਜੀ। ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਫਤਿਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਣਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।